Well, thank you for watching this short presentation. We're here to share with you an online business available 24/7 from the comfort of your own home or your own home office. And we're here to review a fantastic company that's having exceptional records right now. That company is OneCoin. And OneCoin is the first centralized digital currency on the market. Its aim is to provide quick and inexpensive borderless transactions. You will understand this in just one moment. It also provides education, and that's very important, and we offer that through our One Academy, helping people understand the benefits of cryptocurrency and, of course, how you can work with this new digital age of cryptocurrency. But it all started with this phenomenon that started back in 2009, and probably one of the greatest decisions you could have made in this last 5 years was to acquire this cryptocurrency called Bitcoin. Not everybody we share this with understands Bitcoin. Not everybody we share this with has Bitcoin, but I can tell you it's a very interesting proposition, and we'll explain exactly how this works. It's incredible. A cryptocurrency is a digital currency that's been developed online, and it allows for people to transfer money between people, and it's done without the banks. It's done without the middlemen. There's no Visa in the middle. There's no credit card in the middle. There's no government in the middle. It's you and the person you send the money to. That's called peer-to-peer or person-to-person transactions. Well, this technology, as I said, started in 2009, and in the beginning it had zero value until one time one of the programmers who created it and helped create it, he was quite hungry, and he decided to ask the network of programmers if somebody would send him home a pizza order, he would give them 10,000 Bitcoins. Well, this was the first transaction when people started to accept it as a currency, and of course it gave it a value back then of just 10 cents per coin. Well, guys, what happened immediately after that was some of the other programmers said, well, here, if I had known about that, I would have done that. I would have got you the pizza for 5,000 coins. Another programmer chirped up and said, hey, I would have done that for 2,500 coins. And all of a sudden there was an interest in this incredible currency that was being created on the internet. And in fact, at one point, the coin went right up to $1,200 per coin. Imagine getting a coin at 10 cents and getting that extreme growth to $1,200. Guys, that's 12,000%. Well, shortly after that, the price corrected. It came down a little bit, and of course today a Bitcoin is slightly over $400 about 400 euro, slightly over 300 pounds per coin. But here's the point. Had you and I on this conversation, let's say we had this conversation 3 or 4 years ago, and you had put 250 euro into Bitcoin back then, well, that would have turned into 1 million euro today. If you had to put in 250 pounds, that would be 1 million pounds today. Why? Because when you take something of a value of 10 cents and bring it today to 400, that's 4,000 times. So if you put in 250 and something grows 4,000 times, it becomes a million. However, had we this conversation 4 or 5 years ago, I'm not sure you may have got in. I'm not sure you may have believed in the coin. You would have reservations, and possibly you would not have made that decision. Well, guys, that's what's known as hindsight. Hindsight is a wonderful thing. Had we known this was going to happen, of course, we all would have got involved. But I can promise you something much better than hindsight is a thing called foresight. Have you the foresight to see the vision? Have you the foresight to see what's the next step? What is Bitcoin 2.0? Where is the market going? Well, let's have a look at digital currency and see how we can benefit together financially. Digital currency is the new money of the future. That's where it's going. And we must educate ourselves right now if we want to embrace it or adopt any of its benefits. So to make this simple to understand for the masses out there, let's look at it as the evolution of money. And years ago, silk and salt and sugar, this was the money of the day. People traded corn for fish. They traded milk for chicken. It was the bartering system of the old times. And then the money moved from bartering to coins. It became the gold and the silver. Then the money moved on. It became paper money. And a lot of us today still, we operate in that paper money scenario. Of course, it was money at one stage, but since 1971, your paper money is called currency. It's not money, it's a currency. Then the money changed again. It became electronic money, and in came the Visa, became the MasterCard, and that was the new type of money. Well, guys, the next stage in the evolution of money is digital currency, cryptocurrency, virtual currency, and this is spectacular what's happening. In fact, the people that got into the cryptocurrency world have all become essentially millionaires and multi-millionaires. And it's time now that you need to educate your family, yourself, your grandchildren, your children, because this is education that you don't get at school. You will learn it in the real world, but you will not get it at school. So as I said, the first to market was Bitcoin. It arrived back in the scene in 2009. It had zero value. Nobody wanted it. Nobody knew what it was. It had zero value. 18 months later, one Bitcoin has valued at 10 cents. And of course, from there, history has been created. I told you the story where one gentleman paid 10,000 Bitcoins for a pizza order and a delivery to his home. Guys, that was probably the most expensive pizza in the world. Had the gentleman kept his 10,000 Bitcoins, he could sell them today for over $400 per coin. You're talking about €3 million, $4 million for a pizza, probably the most expensive people on the planet. Another gentleman, well, he bought $27 of these Bitcoins. Again, in the early days, it had zero value, so he even forgot he had them. Well, when he started hearing the stories about the success of the new crypto and digital currencies, he decided to go and find his e-wallet, and he dug up his $27, and he was alarmed when he found out that they were now worth $886,000. Where do these stories come from? This is The Guardian. It says here, man buys 27 of Bitcoin, forgets about them, and finds they're worth $886,000. He went off then and bought himself a very nice piece of property. Now, some people actually thought that these reports were some kind of scam involved with this cryptocurrency. They thought, well, it's not real. I can't touch it. It was new to people, so they started to reject it. Also, the newspapers started to read about it. Well, people who had Bitcoin at $1, €1 back then, they got rid of it. They were told that the drug dealers are using it. They were told that the arms dealers were using this new digital age, and people got out of Bitcoin just because they read the newspapers. Well, guys, I can tell you Bitcoin has not been any scam. In fact, the people that sold their coin because they read these reports regret it today because, of course, years later, these Bitcoins are worth over $400 per coin. So please don't be listening to that nonsense in the media. Cryptocurrency is here to stay. It's a phenomenal project. In fact, if you look right now who's accepting digital currency for payments, you'll find that Target in the USA is accepting them. You'll find that Richard Branson is a big advocate of cryptocurrency. In fact, he will accept cryptocurrency for flight. You've got Dell Computers, Apple. Even if you want to get an electric motor car, Tesla, the motor car company, they will accept cryptocurrency for payment of their cars. Subway sandwiches, quite a few of those branches in the US where you can go in and pay with your cryptocurrency. They'll accept it as well. So guys, cryptocurrency is the new money of the future. It is here to stay, and you're going to be hearing a lot about it if you haven't heard about it before now. Who else is getting involved? Well, I can tell you now that the government are taking a good look at it. We're also seeing that the banks are starting to engage as well. And here's another article where you see that the 9 major banks are working on the currency right now. They're working on this, what's known as blockchain technology, and the likes of JP Morgan Chase, Credit Suisse, the Royal Bank of Scotland, and Barclays are all engaging in this new technology. So what about you? Well, how are you going to benefit from this new age of digital currency? I mean, is it too late? A Bitcoin at $400 per coin, is that too much for the average person? In fact, 70% of all Bitcoins have already been created, have already been found on the internet. So where's the next opportunity? Well, guys, let me introduce you to OneCoin. And the lady on your screen right now, Dr. Ruja Ignatova, she has created this exceptional brand new currency. Of course, she did doctorates in law from Oxford University. She has a Master of Economics from Constance University. She was an associate partner of McKinsey & Company. Go look up McKinsey & Company. They're one of the largest consultancy firms in the world. And in there, she did studies on currency. She traveled the world. She worked with Deutsche Bank, She did projects in Russia, dealing with massive funds of over 250 million portfolio. A very smart lady, and of course she studied the cryptocurrency world, and she's now bringing this to the people. It's incredible. She also was Entrepreneur of the Year in her country back in 2012. She won it again in 2014 for the introduction of her new business, OneCoin. Now she's been featured in magazines. She did a paid advertisement in Forbes. However, she was featured in Financial IT. Financial IT is a technology magazine, and you'll see in the February issue she was headlined on the front cover. Now, in her short term in business, she started in 2014, but within 12 months of launching the coin, she turned over 1.3 billion. Guys, that's incredible. My understanding is that it took Microsoft almost 10 years to do $1 billion in sales. It took Facebook 4 years to do $1 billion in sales. This lady has created 1.3 billion of turnover in her first 12 months in business. This is exceptional and probably the fastest growing company on the planet right now. She has more than 1.75 million students. That's just people like you and I learning and getting educated on the product. She has created in excess of 400 independent millionaires who are maxing out our compensation plan with this project in 12 months. Guys, it's incredible. Well, Dr. Ruja cannot be on this presentation. So what she has done is she has created an online educational product that is available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and she's created a platform of education that you can plug into from the comfort of your own home. And of course, she has got financial-based quizzes. She has books and PDFs that you can download. You can read these in your own spare time. She's got some videos on there, and essentially, you've got this home study course where you can learn about various things to do with finances and the markets, etc. She'll teach you about splits. She'll teach you about the current economic world and how money works. But here is 3 reasons why the world needs a digital currency. This is the end game. You've got to understand where are we going with this cryptocurrency. I was quite shocked to learn that 2 billion people are unbanked on this planet. Yes, 1 in 2 adults of the world's population do not have a bank account. I would like you to look at the map here on the right-hand side. You'll see here in North America, in the grey shaded area, and also in Europe, where we're all on this call from today. In Europe here, the grey area, we know that most people do have a bank account. In fact, it says here in the study that 8% of the grey shaded area don't have bank accounts. So we would expect people to have a bank account. But when you look at the map across the rest of the world, you'll see that in Latin America, there's 65% of 250 million adults do not have a bank account. You'll see in sub-Saharan Africa, again, that 80% of 326 million adults do not have a bank account. In Asia, it's the same world over. And that brings it to approximately 1 in 2 adults, 53% of people do not have a bank account. Well, I can tell you this, they may not have a bank account, but they certainly do have a mobile phone. And that leads us to a fantastic audience, to a fantastic marketplace with this project, because we can give anybody on the planet a bank account within merely 2 minutes. We can register them for a free account, and currently there are no monthly fees. Currently there are no annual fees on this account. There's no reason why anyone you share this project to couldn't take a free account right now. We'll populate for them their own office where they can go in and study what's going on with this company. They can learn a lot about it, and we can set them up with their own essential online bank system. Now, the next area that we need to think about where we could use a coin is in wealth protection. Lots of people work hard for their money, they pay their taxes, but this paper money, this fiat currency is losing value. The longer you keep your paper money, the less it's worth. It buys you less in the future than it does today, and that's the problem. What do you do with your hard-earned money? Well, some people take a position with real estate or property if they can afford to get on that ladder. Most people cannot. Some people have a look at the stock market. Some people look at bonds. But now people are starting to look, the wealthy people are starting to engage with some kind of position with cryptocurrency. And the benefit here is with a coin, you can't alter it, you can't inflate it, you can't print more coins. There's a finite amount of currency in the program, And for that reason, it's inflation proof. That's the message there. And then the third area, which is massive again, would be the remittances business. Let's take a look at what remittance is. The remittance market, certainly in the peer-to-peer or the person-to-person remittance, is simply international money transfer. And this figure was given to us by the World Bank back in 2014. So we don't have 2015 figures at hand just at now, but almost 600 billion of transfer was done through the likes of MoneyGram and Western Union. So this is people maybe sending money back home to their parents. They're working internationally and they want to get money back to their family abroad. Imagine that business alone, 600 billion. So when we can cater for the unbanked, when we can cater for money transfer in this industry of remittance business, we have a phenomenal project. You see, you can move a currency, a cryptocurrency, for as little as 5 cents a transaction, no matter whether it's $10, $100, $1,000, or $10,000. It's very fast, it's very reliable, it's very safe, and it's very affordable. I did a Western Union transfer of £1,000 from Ireland to England, and okay, it was same-day remittance, it was same-day transfer, but I was charged by Western Union. I have the invoice of £27 sterling for a £1,000 transfer. That's 27% charge. It's incredible. Some people are paying up to 30% just to send money home or send it to somebody in the case of emergency. Now with your cell phone, now with your mobile phone, you can do these transactions very cost effectively and very, very fast. So let's have a look at the growth of the coin since its inception. The coin was launched in January 2015. Its initial valuation was at 50 euro cent per coin, and the company predicted that with a nice, stable, steady growth in the first year, it was quite likely that they could get the coin to a value of about €2.50. Well, that would be incredible. A coin at 50 cent going to 250, that's 5 times. Well, that was the base scenario. An optimistic view, if the company and its students worked hard and diligently and they worked in international markets, there was no reason why they couldn't get the coin up to as much as €5 per coin within a 12-month window. Well, guys, them 12 months have now surpassed. The coin was launched in January 2015. And guess what? By January 2016, the predictions were right on target. In fact, the actual value at the end of the year of 2015, the coin was valued at $4.35. The people that got into this project 12 months ago have made phenomenal returns simply by acquiring the coin before it rose in price. Well, what can we predict going forward? Well, we don't have a crystal ball, but based on the supply and demand, I can tell you that 25% or slightly more has been produced, so the supply is limited. I can tell you the demand for the coin is incredible, and there seems to be only one way the coin is going. The coin is going up and down in an upwards direction. So it hovers up and down. It might be 565 today, tomorrow it could be 562, the next day it could be 567. So it hovers marginally. There's no essential volatility like a Bitcoin here, but it goes up and down in an upward direction. So the predictions over the next 2 or 3 years are looking very, very favorable that this coin could move, well, it could move anywhere between, let's say, €50 per coin right up to a massive €100 per coin, depending on the demand and the supply as we move forward. So that's the financial education over. We've talked about the company. We've talked about the digital coin and how it's been created. But now what we want to do is we want to talk about the company and the education behind it and how you can build a business. So let's take a quick look at this section. Well, the lady has created for us about 8 different online courses. We call them academies. And the first course is what we call the rookie course. It's a free situation. And if you're listening to this right now, there's no reason why you can't get a free account. And with a free account, the company will send you out this ebook. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. And it's a real good read. It's a study of all the wealthy people in the old days. And they found out how did the rich people accumulate all the money. And I'm not going to tell you the answer to that. I've read it, but that's a real good read. And I believe everybody should get their hands on it and certainly get to reading that. You'll not learn this stuff at school. Lots of you will learn it too late in the real world. Why not get a little insight to how to protect your wealth, how to create wealth, and you'll learn that stuff from the book that you get from the rookie course. Now, if you want to take it a little bit more serious, you can engage with our starter course, and that today is €110. I must also say, if it's your first time on the Academy, there will be a small €30 setup charge, but that's a one-off. But let's talk about the price of the course. It's €110 for life. There's no monthly or annual renewal on this. It gives you 24 access to the Academy, and there's lots of stuff we'll cover in a moment, what you can get in the education. The next course is our trader course. It's about €550. Then we have our pro trader course, a fantastic course, very, very popular with a lot of people, and it allows you to engage in levels 1, 2, and 3 of the Academy, and you can really develop your skills with this course. We have the executive trader at €3,300, and we have the tycoon trader at €5,500. Now, the two most popular courses, I've got to say, have tended to be the pro trader and, would you believe, the tycoon. There has been little take-up based on the numbers so far for the executive trader. I don't know what the reason is. I don't have an answer for you, but we find that people are elevating towards the pro trader or the tycoon trader. So we'll have a look at those in just a moment. But let's first of all take a look at the content. Now, the content is quite comprehensive. There's stuff here to learn for everybody. We can look at things like investing in difficult economic times. There's studies there on how you can deal with your financial crisis. It takes a look at tempestuous economic times. It looks at the stock market bubbles and crashes, real estate bubbles and crashes. It talks about risk and return. All that stuff that you need to learn about in the real world is all covered there. We talk about splits and split strategies. Of course, this is the theoretical side to our business. But the lady also realized that you must have the practical side as well. So it's fair and well getting this education, but she also gives us the benefit of putting the education to use. And to that end, what she's created is, for the Pro Trader account, she would offer you what's called one split. And for those that take the Tycoon Trader package, she would offer you what's called two splits. Let me explain what that is. It's very simple. You get the training, that's fine. You can do that 24/7. But she gives every student a gifted token allocation. So with this course, you get 10,000 tokens. And let me explain what a token is. A token is almost like an exchange rate. When the software was launched for the coin in the early days, it was taking 4 tokens to find a coin in the software. And as the mining difficulty increased, it then took 15 tokens to find a coin. It then grew to 29 tokens. It went up to 45 tokens. And at the time of this presentation or recording, whatever you're listening to, it's 57 tokens that will find you a coin. So when you get this education, you can benefit from mining simply by asking these tokens to go into the software. It's just the click of a button. You don't need to be a geek. You don't need to be an expert. You just type in 10,000 tokens, send them to the mine, and they will go off and find you some coins at a rate today, if you had them, 57 tokens for one coin. Now, what you could do is you could wait for what we call a split. And a split simply is a 2-for-1 proposition. It's a 2-for-1 deal whereby when there's certain pressure on the coin, certain dynamics in the software happening, the company will give you the benefit of a 2-for-1 split. In other words, if you did not send these tokens to the mine, you could get the benefit of 20,000 tokens immediately after a split. You would get 2 tokens for every 1 that you hold. Well, that would be it over. You'd only get 1 split on this package. If we look at the top package here, you would get 60,000 free mining tokens. Again, if you don't send them off to find your coins, you just leave them for the first split and you get 120,000 tokens. If you leave them again for the second split, it doubles up. You get 240,000 tokens, and then you would have achieved your 2 splits. Well, let's tell you what this means. If you have 240,000 tokens acquired and it's taking 57 tokens to find a coin on the software, you would end up with 4,200 coins. Well, as we looked a little bit earlier, 4,210 coins. They're today's value on the internal trading market. You will get €5.65 per coin if you were selling them today. So 4,200 coins multiplied by 565 would give you a very handsome return of 23,789 at today's rates. Now, if you go for the lesser package, you would get 20,000 tokens after the split. At that point, I suggest you send them off to find you coins. Remember, it takes 57 tokens at this point in time to find a coin. So if you divide 57 into 20,000 tokens, you would get 350 coins. Well, 350 coins, and again, let's just say you wanted to sell them right now on the internal exchange, you would get 565 per coin today, and that would give you back 1,982. So you can see there is incredible value in enjoying that mining experience. There's a lot of learning done in the split strategies and your strategy. You'll learn this all in the education, but it's incredible that a package at 1,100, you get the benefit of the education, but a later benefit comes back to you in the terms of a return of 1,982. Effectively, that course is free and you've made some money. On the top package there, if you take 5,500, it's incredible because 23,000 return and the education 24/7 at your disposal. I mean, this is what's getting people excited. If you don't understand what I've said to you here, please get back to the person that shared this link with you. Please get your questions answered. Maybe watch it again and again, and once you start doing it, in fact, you will learn it in doing it, I suppose, is the best way we could describe it. Now, there are some other packages as well. There's something here to fit everybody. As I said, you can start for free. That's fantastic. Everybody should at least do that. But we have packages here, really depending on how serious you want to take this, on what level of education you would desire. In fact, we have courses here right up to 27,500. And there are better benefits, there's more tokens, and there's more splits. But what these packages enable us to do is they enable us to learn. That's what we're buying education, but it also gives us the experience of joining a mining pool and getting these free gifted tokens. So what I'd like to do now is go into part 2, and the first part there took about 30 minutes. We discussed the company and the product, and that's the passive side. You don't have to recruit anybody. You don't need to share this with anyone. This is you studying from home and earning money at the same time without introducing anyone. It's called passive. There's little or no work there to do. Now, there is another part of the program where we want to expand the mining community. You see, the more demand on the coin, if we work together, the price of the coin will go up. So if we can get more customers that are interested in the currency, if we can educate more people about the currency and about finance, then we have a bigger demand on the coin. So collectively, if you wish, you can partake in part 2 here, and we will show you how you can build another business on top of what we've just shown you. This is extra ways of making money. Let me explain the financial rewards disclaimer. There are no guarantees regarding income. I mean, the success and failure is down to everybody. It's down to you, what time and effort, just like any other business. It depends on your skills and what you're prepared to do, and the personal effort you'll put into the project. That's down to you. So any incomes illustrated here are the results of retail sales. We're actually selling education packages. So if there's a sale done, a commission can be attained. So that's like anything. You go into the shop and buy some groceries. There's some profit there. It's the same in every line of business. So the incomes discussed, if any, here in the next few slides are for illustration purposes only, but I'd just like to show you how you can start developing a home-based business with us. Every account gets what we call a dashboard, and in the dashboard, it will tell you how many coins you have. It'll tell you how many tokens you have. It'll tell you how much cash you have in your cash account. It'll tell you how much you have in your trading account. It'll tell you the volume of sales. It shows you what you've earned this week. There's a lot that comes with the package on top of the education. You also, if you want the education, you go into the One Academy down here on the bottom left. There's also a live ticker tape that tells you how many accounts are coming onto the program. It tells you the country they're from. So that's a very interesting thing there, just to watch how this business is growing. There's also a countdown clock on the top right-hand side of your dashboard, and that tells you countdown to payday. So it counts down 765, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And when it gets to 0, you get paid. It's as simple as that. They pay every single week. So that's just a little bit overview on the dashboard. Let me tell you 5 additional ways to earn money with this program. The first way you can earn some extra money is you'll get a 10% what we call team building bonus. So if you introduced a customer that wants the education, or maybe you introduce a company that would like to educate all its staff. Many firms and companies and businesses, they take a lot of their workforce, they put them into a training environment to up their skills, to up their techniques, and of course they get better production from that, from their business and from their staff. So if you introduce an individual or a company, you will get 10% reward, I suppose, for bringing that business to the table. You've acted as a referral agent, they've gone online and purchased the course. Of course, you will get paid that directly. There's an additional 10% available. That's only available for the first 30 days. It's called a fast start bonus for that reason. It's to get people up and active. The only thing you need to do here to qualify for the extra 10%, meaning a total of 20%, is you need to do about 5,500 of referrals in your first 30 days. Well, that's quite easy. You could do that tomorrow. There's another 10% available on top of those two. We call that the network bonus. We'll take a look at that in a moment. And then a very exciting income stream is where you can earn up to 25% check matching bonus. Now, this is an exceptional one. We'll cover that in some detail in just a moment. And the final thing we have is the company have put a reward system in place. Depending on your effort and your rank, you can get up to prizes and rewards here of up to $500,000 if you go to the top of our compensation plan. So let's look at the first way you're going to make money, and this is what's called a 10% referral bonus. Let's take a quick look. Let's suggest this is you here on the left-hand side, and maybe you have a database of what, 100, 200, 500 people. Let's say you shared this with just 4 people, maybe the guy working in the office, maybe the local nurse, maybe a businessman from town, maybe a girl that works in the library. You want to show this to some people, and of course if they go online and order a course, you will get 10% of their course fee. Okay, so again, if someone buys the trader pack, you'll get €55. If someone buys the pro trader, you'll get €110, etc. If someone buys the tycoon training, you will get €550. I mean, you might just share this with one person tonight and you make €550 tonight. If you do it 4 nights a week, part-time, you could make yourself an extra 2,000 a week simply by referring the education. We know that Sky Television have a program like this. If you promote the TV channels to your neighbor or colleagues, they will give you a reward for finding that new customer. We know that Apple have a program like this. We know that Amazon have a program like this. We know that Richard Branson operates programs like this. So OneCoin operate a very similar program. Bring a customer to the table. We'll reward you with 10% of what they spend on our website. So let's read it. When you personally refer someone to the OneCoin education website, you receive a 10% referral bonus. How easier can it get than that? So everybody understands now the first way you can make money. The second way, as I said, is a 30-day bonus. All that means is if you do it in your first 30 days, you double up. You get an additional 55 or an additional 550 in your first 30 days. Let me tell you, you receive an additional 10% in your trading account. So this is put into a trading account, not a cash account. And of course, you must do 5,500 of business to, well, it might be 2 customers. It might even be 1 customer. And that's not difficult to do. Lots of people think it sounds big. Guys, it's very simple. You could do 4 or 5 of them in your first week if you apply yourself to the system. Now, what I wanted to tell you now is a strategy for building our structure. This again is your database. What I suggest you do, and here's a tip. Let's say you joined the program tonight, tomorrow, whenever you join the program. The first thing you want to do is ask this question to your introducer. Which side of your structure am I on? Am I on your right-hand side or am I on your left-hand side? So everybody's structure has 2 sides, a left-hand side and a right-hand side. So you've got to ask your introducer, which side of your structure am I on? Am I on your left or on your right? So in this example, we'll suggest that this guy has started on the right-hand side of his introducer. Well, here's what he should do. This was you. You should put your first 2 or 3 contacts onto the same side. So let's say you introduced 1, 2, 3. And if you teach that principle, that everybody puts their first 2 to 3 people on the same side. In other words, this guy is on the right of him, so he would put these 3 in, 1, 2, 3. This girl here would put these 3 in, 1, 2, 3. This lady here would put 3 in, and everybody does that. What happens is this power structure starts to grow and grow and grow. These people here all get excited because they see new sales, new volume, new business coming into them without their effort. So these first 3 here are very excited. Why? Because the business is starting to grow and grow and grow and grow, and they've just put a little bit of effort in. What I then suggest you do is repeat the strategy. So now you start on the opposite side and you start your second team. So what happens now is, in addition to the 10% you get for your personal referrals, the company give you another 10% bonus on top. So you will receive a 10% network bonus based on the volume of all sales on the lesser side of your two-tier structure. So visually, on the right-hand side, that looks a much larger team than the left-hand side. So the company will pay you a 10% bonus based on all of the sales created on this team, regardless of who produces them. So if there was 100,000 of business created here in this week by all these students, you would get 10%, you would make 10,000. If there was €1,000 of business created here, you would get 10%, which is 100. So you would get 10% for your own personal introductions, but you get an additional 10% from all the sales created on the lesser side of your two-tier structure. Again, if you watch that a couple of times, if you replay the recording, you'll hear it, you can stop, you can rewind, you'll start understanding how this all works. Now, I want to get to one of the most exciting bonuses in the compensation plan, and this is what we call our check matching bonus. Let me explain. This is you again, okay, here at the top. You've started your new business, and let's suggest you brought one student into the program here, and then by the time you find your second student, they get started here, and then by the time you introduced your third student, they would fall in here. Why? Because you're adopting the principle of putting 2 or 3 people on the same side that you joined. Well, then what you do is you start your next structure. Let's say you put your 4th person in here. What I want to say is that this person here in the circle is your personal introduction, as is this guy, this girl, and this gentleman here. They would be your level 1 introductions, and you can make a 10% check match. You will get 10% bonus of the check that these guys created in their network check bonus. Okay? So if this guy's network check bonus is 10,000 this month, you will get 10%. You will make another £1,000. If this lady makes 5,000, you will get 10%. You get 500. If this gentleman makes 1,000, you get 10% this week, and you will get 100. If this guy here makes 20,000, you get 10%. You get 2,000. So you get a 10% check match of your personal introductions as they go out and build their network bonus check. So it's based on their network bonus check. Now, what then happens is, let's say this guy here introduced 1, 2, 3, 4 customers. We say this lady introduced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 customers. We say this guy down the bottom here only introduced 1 customer. And we say this guy here introduced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of these people, these 5 here, these 4, these 5, and this 1, they would all appear on your second generation. And what that then means is you could earn 10% of what every check these guys make as well. Now, it's not illustrated on the picture here, but imagine all of these people not in the circle went out and found more clients, more customers. They would go in your third generation where you'd earn 20% check match on what they earned. And again, as that replicated out to 4 generations away from you, you can earn a massive 25% check bonus. Okay? So if you introduce somebody who introduced somebody who introduced somebody who introduced somebody else, and they made 10,000, you would make 2,500. You get a check match of 25% of what they earn on their network bonus check. Guys, there's only 2 things you do to qualify here. The first thing is, to qualify, you must place 1 minimum trader on your left and right. So you must place 1 sale on the left-hand side and 1 on the right to qualify. And the second qualifier is your own package determines how many generations in depth you go for. And that's why you'll find that the Tycoon is a well-favored product here, because it lets you enjoy all 4 generations of check match. You're qualified for the 25%, the 20%, the 10, and the 10. And that's why lots of people favor not only the education and the content of the training, but they get the maximum benefit, the maximum reward for a compensation plan. So that's very exciting income in itself. Now, the final way we get paid is the rewards plan. And again, we'll not spend too much time on this presentation, but as you go up the ranks, as you develop the organization, the rank is Sapphire, Ruby, Emerald, Diamond, Blue Diamond, Black Diamond, and there's certain volumes to be achieved. The company will start rewarding you with some very nice gifts. You can get things like a Mac Air, a MacBook Air. You can get a wonderful trip abroad. You can get Rolex watches, gold Rolex watches, and in fact the top prize and is $500,000, is 500,000 euro of gold coins. 500,000 euro bonus if you go to the top of our plan. We've already 3 people achieved it in the first 12 months, so we do know it can be done. And again, to learn more about that, we cover that more on training. This, guys, is designed as a fairly comprehensive overview. So in summary, what's it all about? Well, we offer you financial education where you buy a package. You can learn it online from the One Academy. With that training comes a free gift. We call them tokens. You can benefit from these tokens simply by waiting for a split. After the split, you can send these tokens to the mine. It's just press a button. Very, very simple. It's not complicated. When these tokens go into the mine, there's a certain difficulty rate. We looked at that earlier. It's currently 57 tokens find you a coin. Over a period of time, the coins will come back to you, to your wallet. There is a short escrow period, but after that, then you can sell the coins. You can hold the coins for a better price. You can use the coins, trade the coins between people. In fact, they're your coins at that stage. We can get you a MasterCard where you can load your income up to. These work in every shop where it accepts Visa and MasterCard. It also works at the ATM machines. If you want to take out cash, you can get one of those as well. So that's simply the process. So we want to wrap it up there. We want to thank you for listening to this training. I hope it's helped you in your understanding of both our company and our product, and also giving you an overview of our compensation plan. So I'm going to leave it there, and I want to thank you all. Again, please get back to the person that shared this with you, and I hope you have a very successful career with the business. Thank you, and good afternoon to everyone.